Wodan is a huge GCI found at Europa Park in Germany and has got to be one of the best roller coaster experiences in the entire world. If you do enjoy the video, please remember to like and subscribe, guys. You know the usual. So without further ado, this is what I think of Wodan. Please bear in mind that this video is based on my own opinions and that you are free to agree or disagree, but be sure to post your thoughts and feelings in the comment section below. So, let's get into this. Europa Park is known for making some incredibly themed rides, and Wodan is no exception. Wodan can be found in the Iceland section of the park, next to the likes of Bluefire and Mack Mega Coaster, and there's actually some small interaction between the two attractions, which I quite like. The theming around Wodan as a whole is superb. From this huge, and I mean huge, gate into the small plaza area to the intricate queue line. Honestly, the queue line is the best I've ever experienced. There's so much to look at and so much theming. As with Bluefire's, the queue line is very immersive. For example, you see these blue glass crystal-like things wedged into the wall. A small kind of pre-show as well. Rather irritably, my German isn't very advanced, so I couldn't understand all of it. However, it must have been good from the small room that surrounded it and others' reactions. There were fake trees, dead branches, and they looked really realistic. My personal favourite part of the queue line is this old shack or wooden board of some sort that would shake and jolt quite aggressively at random times. So cool, because I got the shock of my life when I first saw this thing. The queue line doesn't feel particularly long. It actually feels kind of quick because there's so much to look at. Most of the queues actually underneath the maintenance shed and the station, but you hardly notice it at all. I actually lost my sense of direction by the time I got out of it. As with a Wicker Man at Alton Towers, also a Merlin-owned theme park, the station is gorgeous. I personally would prefer Wicker Man Station, but yeah, this one's also very well done. You have little statues, and a very mystic effect is brought up with the wooden nature of the station. Super cool. Similar to other GCIs, you have the standard Millennium Flyer trains. They are decently comfortable and feature a nice lap bar. Now, the ride. You start by leaving the station and having a nice pre-lift section. There's some small hills, they don't give any airtime, but what does give you some force is the laterals as you curve up into the lift hill, which is a really long lift hill. Or at least it feels that way. It may have been me because I was so excited to ride this roller coaster. But you get some great views of Bluefire behind you and also Atlantica Super Splash, which is a water ride nearby. Once you're near the top of the lift, you'll notice these two statues either side of the lift hill. Now when I went, they were breathing fire and you could actually feel the heat from them. I found this very immersive and pretty cool. Once you crest the top, you level out and go into a right hand turn, which will then take you into the first drop. There's no major forces at this small turn, however the first drop is something special. This is where I may be a little bit biased because I've only ridden Wodan Timber Coaster in the front and somewhere in the middle. Next time I go to Europa Park, I'll be sure to check out a back row ride. You get some great floater airtime and then you dive down into some fantastic lateral forces amongst the excellent head and arm chopper moments from the wooden structure around you. You then ascend the largest of the hills on the ride, over the station and enter the turnaround where Bluefire is. The interaction here helps connect the two coasters together as they are in the same area of Iceland, remember. I do remember getting some airtime over this hill, and also as you carve around like a small GCI bump, and this actually caught me off guard. I was not expecting that because there's no elements like that on Wicker Man, which is the only other GCI that I've ridden at the recording of this video. After that, you suddenly dive down into the ground and go underneath the pathway where you first entered to get on the ride. This is around where the huge gates are, and in the tunnel it's pitch black and you come screeching through it. It's fantastic. Once again, there's some good arm and head chopper moments. And then your station flyby. My first, and it was okay. Definitely much better to watch from the station, but I thought it was fine. I do enjoy how it really shocks the people in the station at the time, because the train is screeching as it comes through it, like it's ridiculously loud, and that is one of the reasons why Wodan Station is so good. Now the rest of the ride is a mixture of predominantly twists, turns, flow to airtime hills, and good laterals. Overall, I think the layout is solid on Wodan, definitely different to other wooden coasters out there. The only problem is, it does feel kind of short, at least in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, it's a good ride, but it feels like it could have done a little bit more with the speed it has. You come flying into those brakes at a pretty decent speed. Ah well, what am I saying? It makes me want to ride it again and again. I love the way the trains rumble through the course. All the turns towards the end of the ride feel fantastic, the flow to airtime is nice, and your whole experience feels so out of control, which is fantastic to see on a wooden coaster. What really makes Wodan for me is the combination of excellent ride and the theme. I've previously stated this with my Bluefire review, but honestly, Europa Park are just so good at it. To be honest, the ride would be fantastic on its own, but the theme really rounds it off. Be sure to add this to your bucket list for coasters in Europe. I wouldn't place it too high due to the likes of Helix, Zadra, Shambhala and many others, but it's a great woody and one experience you're not going to forget. To conclude, Wodan is a very good wooden coaster with an excellent theme. It may not be everyone's favourite, but for me, Wodan is something truly special. You've been watching Stubwood. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, and why not check out some of my other videos whilst you're here. I hope you have a fantastic day guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.